Mustafa, inshallah, you joining us?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Is your whenever you're ready.
Okay. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخزوا الميزان والأرض وضعها الأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والهب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجن من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبقيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يسأله من في السماوات والأرض كل يوم هو في الشأن فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Inshallah, as we said, this is Surah number 55, Surah Ar-Rahman. Traditionally, we read Surah Yasin and Surah Ar-Rahman. We give it as a gift to our marhumin. But we, in this center, I would like for us to give these to Surah that we finish, inshallah, by the end of Maha Ramadan. Give it as a gift to Imam Zamanana and also as a gift to our marhumin through Imam Zamanana, inshallah. Allah give them barakat and give them happiness, and their prayer is after us. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we'll continue with the children's presentations. Now our next young reciter is Maryam, and she'll be reciting Surah Fajr, followed by Suraya and the young reciter doing Surah Fil. So start with Maryam first, inshallah. Maryam, you want to start? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we can start.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maryam. Today I'm going to recite Surah Fajr. Surah Fajr is Surah number 89 and it's and it's it's Makki Surah and it has 30 verses. Let's start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. والفجر وليال عشر والشفع والوتر والليل إذا يسر هل في ذلك قسم لذي هجر ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بعاد إرم ذات العماد التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد وفرعون ذي الأوتاد الذين طغوا في البلاد فأكثروا فيها الفساد وصب عليهم ربك صوت عذاب إن ربك لبالمرصاد فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما وتحبون المال حبا جما كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر الإنسان وناله الذكرى يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي فيومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد ولا يوثق وثاقه أحد يا أيها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنات. جزاك الله خيرا. Thank you for listening to me.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah, very good job, Mariam. You did a great job deciding Surya. Very good job, beautiful. Now it's Surya's turn.
Good job, Mariam.
Are you ready, Surya? Doing your surah? Okay, inshallah.
So, my name's Soraya. I'm going to recite Surah Al-Fil.
Say it loud so they can hear you, okay?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alam tara kaifa fa'ala rabbuka bi-ashabil fil. Alam yaj'al kaydahum fi tadlil wa arsala alayhim khayrun ababil tarmihim min hijaratin min sijil wa ja'alahum ka'asfin ma'kul.
Good job, MashaAllah. You did a good job. Both of you did a good job, Mariam and Surya. Shall we do next year too? No? Inshallah.
Yes,
Okay, now we have next item is video prepared by the Sunday school kids. Sister Zora will play that for us.
Inshallah, let me just get that ready.
That was fun.
This quick announcement by Az-Zahra start getting to share the video with us is a reminder about the Quran recitation competition. The last day for submission was yesterday and nobody submitted it. So I don't know if it's anybody winning this year or not, but I extended day for one more day. So tonight is the last chance to submit logs for Quran recitation competition. So please, if your child has been reading Quran and you have signing off the log for daily Quran recitation, please submit by tonight. You can text it to me through WhatsApp or email me. I put both in the announcement group. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, inshallah, I'll go ahead and play it now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, class. How are we doing today? So did we all finish our projects? Can I see? Thank you. So Mustafa, what animal did you pick today to talk about that mentioned in the Quran? Spider, cool. So which surah is the spider mentioned in? Surah Al-Ankabut. Any characteristic of the spider that you learned? Yep. A spider has 8 eyes, and their web is made out of a very thick material called silk. Oh, that's cool. So can you tell me the significance a spider has in Islam? The spider made a web around a cave that Prophet Muhammad was hiding from all the people that were going to kill him, and the spider saved Prophet Muhammad. Good job. Okay, that was an interesting class. Till next time, for that. Prophet Suleiman ants. Queen ant is eating food. Prophet, let me think. A queen ant is scared of people. Go, queen ant, go hide. Prophet Suleiman, don't be scared. Queen ant is strong. Assalamu alaikum. There's a chapter in the Quran called Al-Nahl, which means the honeybee. Allah is the one that tells us how honeybees do their jobs. Honey is like medicine. Honey makes you feel better when you're sick. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. There's a surah in the Quran named chapter 2, and that's Bagre, and that means cow. And we should not worship cows because we should trust God because He knows everything. So do not trust. If you don't trust God, He will not give you anything to listen, and you have to wait. And thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. We have a very special guest today. Come on up, Elephant. Assalamu alaikum, Elephant. Walaikum assalam. What are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about the chapter in the Quran it's called Surah Fil. What does it say about the elephant? But you elephant? It talks about the army that wanted to destroy the Kaaba in Mecca.
Competition ضعیف है.
In the Kaaba. Oh, why? Did the elephants destroy the Kaaba? No, Allah protected the Kaaba by sending birds. Birds had hot clay and killed the evil armies. Oh wow, subhanallah, that is so powerful. Very powerful. That year was the year known as the elephant. The year of the elephant? Wow. It was also the year Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he was born. Do you have any questions about it? No, thank you for sharing that story. Bye, elephant. Allah says, Allah's addressing the idol worshippers and challenging them that their gods cannot even create a tiny fly even if they all gather together. And the fly snatched away anything from these gods, they can never get it back from them. So did you know that fly is the only animal that breaks its food outside its body by secreting enzymes that digest the food, and then it sucks the liquid food. So before you even know that the fly took the breadcrumbs from you, it has already digested and has taken it in this fact. This fact about flies was just recently discovered by our scientists, but Allah had mentioned it in the Quran 1400 years ago. Another example of Quran being a living miracle.
MashaAllah, great job by Sunday school kids making this video. I understand there's one more video be coming towards the end of this month, inshallah.
Yes, there is one more video.
MashaAllah, kids doing great job for this video and doing good job with the citation surahs. Aguba, you want to present something?
Inshallah, I can do little poetry in Tetalafs.
Inshallah, go ahead.
पर मोहम्मद मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फिशारे कब्र से बचना अगर है, फिशारे कब्र से बचना अगर है, कफन पर करबला लिखना पड़ेगा। अली अकबर को कुछ लिखो न लिखो, शबीह मुस्तफ़ा लिखना पड़ेगा। अली अकबर को कुछ लिखो न लिखो, शबीह मुस्तफ़ा लिखना पड़ेगा। और छुपाते हैं वो यूं खैबर की बातें, छुपाते हैं वो यूं खैबर की बातें, अली को लाफता लिखना पड़ेगा। और चली नस्ले मोहम्मद जिसके दम से, चली नस्ले मोहम्मद जिसके दम से, उसे बस सैयदा लिखना पड़ेगा, उसे बस सैयदा लिखना पड़ेगा। बुरे को जब बुरा लिखना पड़ेगा, बुरे को जब बुरा लिखना पड़ेगा, फिदक का वाकया लिखना पड़ेगा। बुरे को जब बुरा लिखना पड़ेगा, फिदक का वाकया लिखना पड़ेगा। अगर सच्चों से निस्बत का है दावा, अगर सच्चों से निस्बत का है दावा, ओहद में क्या हुआ लिखना पड़ेगा। अगर सच्चों से निस्बत का है दावा, ओहद में क्या हुआ लिखना पड़ेगा। और हलाकत से अगर कोई बचा ले, हलाकत से अगर कोई बचा ले, उसे मुश्किल कुशा लिखना पड़ेगा। उसे मुश्किल कुशा लिखना पड़ेगा। और अगर तू लामकां है रब्बे अकबर, अगर तू लामकां है रब्बे अकबर, तो फिर काबे को क्या लिखना पड़ेगा। अगर तू लामकां है रब्बे अकबर, तो फिर काबे को क्या लिखना पड़ेगा। और मुअर्रिख है गदीर खम का जो भी, मुअर्रिख है गदीर खम का जो भी, नबी ने क्या कहा लिखना पड़ेगा। मुअर्रिख है गदीर खम का जो भी, नबी ने क्या कहा लिखना पड़ेगा। और ये थोड़ा मुतनादी शेर है कि नुसैरी बन तो जाऊं खौफ ये है, नुसैरी बन तो जाऊं खौफ ये है कि हैदर को खुदा लिखना पड़ेगा, कि हैदर को खुदा लिखना पड़ेगा। और अगर सच्चों से निस्बत का है दावा, ओहद में क्या हुआ लिखना पड़ेगा। बुरे को जब बरा लिखना पड़ेगा, फिदक का वाकया लिखना पड़ेगा। और मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम।
Yes. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Inshallah. So it's your whenever you're ready.
Okay, inshallah we start with the salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammadin wa ajjal farajahum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي جعل الحمد مفتاحا لذكره وسببا للمزيد من فضله ودليلا على آلائه وعظمته. ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه وحبيبه حافظ سره ومبلغ رسالته حبيب إله العالمين وخاتم النبيين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين سيما بقية الله في السماوات والأراضين. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب أليم. ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are on the final days of the month of Ramadan. And as you know, Eid is around the corner. As I promise, every day we will talk about the rulings relevant to the day of Eid al-Fitr, and also in regard of the kafarat, fidya, and fitriya. As we mentioned yesterday, it is permissible to pay your zakat al-fitr. This is, by the way, I cannot follow all of the Maraj's opinion at the same time, although there's not that many differences. There are a few which I'll do my best to mention, but most of the one that I'm mentioning right now is according to Fatwa Ayatollah Sistani. But if there's any difference of opinion, I'll make sure inshallah to let you know. But it is permissible to pay your zakat al-fitr ahead of time before the day of Eid. And then again, just your intentions, inshallah, is as delegation, you delegate it and you send it to and then niyat of Eid al-Fitr. But you just understanding that it's become wajib on the day of Eid. The other matter is the matter of when is Eid, regarding the moon sighting. The probability on Friday night for the moon to be sighted with the naked eye, it's very low, is almost improbable according to astronomical calculation. So in order to have the announcement and determination for the day of Eid, moon has to be sighted with the naked eye according to many of the Maraji and Mujtahideen. So the chance of Saturday to be the day of Eid is very slim. It's almost to none. But on Saturday night, according once again based on astronomical calculation, it would be very easy everywhere in the globe to see the moon. So Eid will be inshallah most probably on Sunday, based on visibility predictions. It will not be later than Sunday for sure. So one ruling is that how much is zakat al-fitr? That's another question people ask me, and there probably sometimes there's a different number you hear. Some say that is $10 per person, or is some say is $12, some say it's $15. The reason is the difference in amount. It goes back to original form of zakat al-fitr is or fitriya is food, stable food in your area. That could be rice, it could be flour, date, raisin. What is the staple food? And the cost of these are different. So in the original form, it has to pay in the form of food to the poor and needy, or the amount that is equal to that. So the amount that the amount that has to be paid for zakat al-fitr is 3 kilograms. That is almost around 6.6 pounds of the staple food. So 6.6 pounds of what you consider to be the staple food, it could be different. So it's ranging from $10 to $15. So it's better to give a bit more always. It's if it counts as zakat, if not as sadaqah, inshallah. So the minimum is $10 for the amount of zakatul fitr or zakat fitriya. If it's inshallah more, I'll leave it for your questions, and I'll answer your question. Once again, remember that we use Slido as our platform for your questions, and the code is 1214, inshallah. Okay, so this is the, making sure put it in the chat. Okay. So inshallah, we will start with another salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So that's inshallah for today. We continue again tomorrow with more ahkam and rulings regarding zakat al-fitr and the related subject for Eid al-Fitr, inshallah. If you remember yesterday, we came to talk about the two underlying cause of riyah. One was self-worth or lack of understanding of self-worth or low self-esteem that could have happened and inflicted upon someone by others, or it could be a personal issue and cognitive issue. We talked about that, and we have to look at those traditions and understand the importance of our role in the world, and we are the vicegerent of God. And secondly was the reason somebody end up pretending to be virtuous, and the reason they fall into trap of riyah and showing off is because of their need for instant gratification, impatience. Because for those who are patient, they're able to have the ability to wait for the rewarding outcome of their good deeds, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised that if somebody is righteous, if they have faith, as Quran says, إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصلاة أولئك هم خير البرية جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحت الأنهار خالدين فيها رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عن ذلك لمن خشي ربه. In Surah Al-Bayyinah, Allah says, if somebody have faith in Iman and they are righteous in their deeds, their conduct and action is good, then they are the best of creatures. And their reward will be before their Lord. And there will be the gardens that have flowing rivers beneath them, and they will be immortal and eternally living in the paradise. And then Allah said, Radiyallahu anhum, Allah is pleased and satisfied with them, and they are pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَذَلِكَ لِمَنْ خَشِيَ رَبَّهُ. This is for someone who has that God-fearing heart, that they are humble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before their Lord. So for those that they are looking for quick pay, they're looking for shortcuts, they're looking for getting the result right away. These people will have difficult time to exercise sincerity. So it make it very difficult. So in the traditions of Ahlul Bayt, we talked about so how we can actually talk about the importance of delayed gratification, which is the concept of patience, to be sabur, to have patience, right? So we talked about that a bit. And in that subject, we also give an example of a study that been done about how delayed gratification will have positive impact on our well-being and our education and our decision-making abilities. So we came to that conclusion to, of course, according to Quran, Inna Allah ma'as sabirin. Allah is with those who are patient. And when you look at fasting, Quran called fasting a form of patience. As Quran said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah wa innaha lakabiratun illa 'ala al-khashi'in. O believers, O you who have faith, seek assistance and help through sabr, patience, and through salat, prayer. But sabr in tafasir, they said this sabr and patience, what it means is fasting. So it said through fasting and praying, seek assistance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So fasting itself is a form of exercise of delayed gratification, that for somebody to wait the entire day from dusk to dawn to dusk, from Fajr to Maghrib, and you wait and you withhold even eating or consuming the lawful. For that person, they're exercising patience and sabr. It increases our ability of self-restraint. And when it comes to the time of iftar, that hunger itself, it brings that sense of joy. That there actually, this is no need to look at studies about it. When somebody is deprived of something, when you're very hungry, the way you enjoy your food is very different from somebody who's stuffing themselves and they're overeating. So there is benefit and patience in every aspect of life, and Quran calls fasting a form of patience. So in order to get rid of riyah and showing off and heal ourselves, it's important to exercise sabr, implement sabr. So what are some of the methods we can do that? So one thing is that we teach it to our children from the young age, that it's good to learn the joy of patience, that sometimes when you wait, you see the result. Instant gratification has its own advantages. So let's say if you offer prizes for your children right away, they will do it right away. So if you want an ice cream, you have to clean up your room. You get an ice cream if you clean your room now. But in delayed gratification system, what they do is that, okay, if you clean your room and then this happens and you earn certain number of points. So every time you do something good, or you help your mom, or you help your dad, or you're helping the chores around the house, you get 1 star. And then after 10 star, we'll give you this. So that is delayed gratification. It's a bit waiting process until they get what they want. So it's important that in our rewarding system to our children, don't only focus on the quick pay and just the instant reward. Rather, we have to sometimes teach them about that. Okay, sometimes you have to wait a bit until you get what you're looking for. So another healthy way to do that, and that could even, this example of rewarding your children for something, that's good for early ages. We're talking for children. But when it comes to teenagers and adults, it make it even more difficult to implement that. But one more thing that is good for adults, for teenagers, for youngsters, is the exercise of patience through farming and gardening and working with the nature. So that's why in the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, planting a tree considered a sadaqah. So we have the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Hadith said that from Rasulullah, ما من مسلم يغرس غرسا إلا كان ما أكل منه له صدقة. That Muslim will not plant a tree, or when we say a tree means a seed for a tree or for a plant. And any creatures of God will benefit from it. This is the beauty of, the perspective of Islam on farming and on nature. It doesn't say if you plant a tree and it fruits or it is just as human being benefit. Ma akala minhu, any creature of God, even the insect, even worms, or even birds, squirrels, any creature of God benefit from that. Sadaqah, lahu sadaqah. That would be a charity. That would be considered a form of sadaqah. وَمَا سَرِغَ مِنْهُ صَدَقَةً. Even if they steal that tree for whatever reason, you plant a tree and then some animals come and take it away. Still, sadaqah is a charity. وَلَا يَزْرَعُهُ أَحَدٌ إِلَّا كَانَ لَهُ صَدَقَةً. And even if, as I said, the animals benefit from it, is a charity, is sadaqah. And even if it dies, because sometimes, because of the cold weather, you do your best, and then some plants, they cease to exist, they die. Still, there's a sadaqah for planting. So that's why it's important to look at the teaching of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So we have many examples that how Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they were always working on farm. So, for example, we have that it been said Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, that when Imam was working on a farm, on a land, and he was sweating and he had his working clothes on, and I told him, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, give me the shovel, let me work. And Imam alayhi salam said, I want to work under the sun to seek my lawful provision and rizq. Same thing had been said about Imam Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salam, that I met him in his garden and his farm, and he was working and he was sweating. And I told him, is there anyone to help you? Is there anyone to assist you? And Imam alayhi salam said, this is the person who asked this question is not one of the companion by the name of Ali ibn Hamza. Imam Musa ibn Ja'far told me, Ya Ali, oh Ali, those who were better than me and my father, they were working with their own hand, they were farming. And I asked him, who are better than you and your father? And Imam Musa Jafar salam said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Amir al-Mu'min Ali alayhi salam, and all of our forefathers, they were working. This is a very common practice of the awliya Allah, that they were always connected with the nature. And when you work on a farm, when you are, let's say if you don't have access to a farm, a garden, small garden, if you don't have a garden, a plant, even if you live in an apartment, you still can have plants. Having something, what it teaches us is that the cycle of life and the way of natural thing, because when we invent technological creations, such as cell phones and computers and all that, it's not a natural way of the nature. And in order for us to go back to the way that things actually are, in a video game, you can probably build a house in a matter of seconds and minutes. You destroy, you come back to life, right? Children know these concepts. But in real life, that's not the case. That's something just as in the fantasy and imagination. But once you yourself and also even your children, we go and actually start planting a seed. And then that child will come and say, okay, is there this seed that will start to grow? And they water and they then take care of it. And then they put it under the sun. And then days, weeks, months later, it comes to the fruit, it flourish, it blossoms. that itself, it's a process of learning how to be patient. And not everything is like a video game that you do something and you hit a button and you get the result. So that's in the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, working with your hand, because especially right now, a lot of our children have difficulty being active, not just because of the quarantine. Even before that, there are a lot of data and a lot of studies out there that because of the way of the entertainment and games and video games and media and social media and cell phone and internet, the rate of physical activity is not as good. That's why they literally have initiatives of encouraging children to play, to be active, to eat healthy. So the healthy thing is that, as well as that we are doing it for our own body, also for the soul. When you are dealing with the nature, with planting a seed, with planting a tree, with doing a bit of gardening, if you have access to, if you don't, as I said, even having a simple plant, it helps us in the process of following the tradition of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, that they were people who worked on the land. And we see that in the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, that in many ahadith has been emphasized to be active. So this is, for example, Imam Ibn said, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said about Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam alayhi salam said, Inna Amir al-Mu'min Ali alayhi salam أعتق ألف مملوك من كد يده. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, Imam Ali alayhi salam, with the work of his hand, means that he worked. Work on a garden, on a orchard of a palm tree, or any other activity he had, with his own hand, with yadih, with his hand, he worked and he freed 1,000 slaves. This is Ali alayhi salam. This is a man we have Dua Kumail from him. This is the man we have Munajat Imam Ali from him. This is the man that we have Najul Balagha, the peak of eloquence, from him. He's a man of dua, but at the same time, he's a man of action. He gets his hand dirty when it comes to farming and gardening. That he frees 1,000 slaves, Imam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. And we have tradition about this importance of being active as well. Because once you work, once you put it, including, as I said, even hobbies, because some hobbies is doing nothing. That's not a hobby, to do something. We have that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he saw a man and he noticed a young man. And Rasulullah asked, Hal lahu hirfatun? Does he have any skills, any job, any profession? So Rasulullah saw a young man and asked him, does he have any job or any profession, any skills? And they answered, فَإِنْ قَالُوا لَا قَالْ. And if they said no, if that could be any person. There's not just one person. So anytime Rasulullah would see a person and said, what is his profession? What's his job? And if they said he has no profession, he does nothing. Not that he's unemployed, that he's not looking even for a job. He's just, wasting his time, wandering around. Rasulullah would say, قَالَ سَقَطَ مِنْ عَيْنِي. Rasulullah would said, he fell from my eyes. He lost his respect. That somebody is honored with you before your eyes means that you love them, you care for them, you respect them. So it's important in the teaching of Ahlul Bayt, in order to exercise patience, we need to find that connection with the nature, that patience that we need, especially right now with the cycle of life being so fast that we are always if we're thinking that we're behind, that we need to do more, right? That I'm behind on new posts on Instagram or on social media, or I did not watch this new TV shows or new movies. There's always is this cycle that I have to catch up. Once in a while, we have to take a step back, and we have a tradition to just look at the nature. The hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, we have that even looking at the nature, such as the grass or ocean, it's considered an act of worship. That's been said in ahadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wassalam. For example, this is the one hadith that we have here from Ahlul Bayt. قال موسى بن جعفر عليه السلام. It's been said by Imam Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salam, ثلاثة يجلبن البصر. There are three things that looking at them will bright your eyes, it will bring light to your eyes. النظر إلى الخضرة. The first is first to look at the grass, greenery. It brings that joy, that fresh take to your perspective. Look at the grass and greenery. وَالنَّظَرْ إِلَى الْمَاءِ الْجَارِي. To look at the flowing water, moving water. And lastly, وَالنَّظَرْ إِلَى الْوَجْهِ الْحَسَنِ. And third is to look, as we have in some tradition, to a righteous face, to a mu'min even. That's why we are looking at the face of your parents, looking at the face of a mu'min. The one that when you look at them remembers you of Allah. That person, that even that look, it will be considered an act of worship. So going back to our subject, in order to combat riyah and this sense of showing off, we need to occupy ourselves with activities that they teach us patience. Social media does not teach us patience, by the way. And one of the best way is to get in touch with the nature, because the cycle of life and nature, it teaches us patience. That if you're looking for result, if you're looking for harvest, that's what is the way should be, that you need to wait. And our prayers and our fasting is also another, as I said, form of self-restraint and exercising patience, and which is very practical, especially for the elderly who are looking for a way to increase their patience. So we have another subject to, inshallah, continue, which is the subject of impatience. Quran said, خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ هَلُوعًا إِذَا مَسَّهُ الشَّرُّ جَزُوعًا وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الْخَيْرُ مَنُوعًا. That human being's nature is that is impatient, and because of the impatient, it becomes greedy as well. That once there is impatient, greed is with there. When they are touched, وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الْخَيْرُ مَنُوعًا. When they are blessed, when they are favored, they become stingy. They don't share their blessings with others. When everything is going well for them, they feel that, I deserved it, I own it, and there's nothing I can do. وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الشَّرُّ جَزُوعًا. And when they are touched by some calamity, when they are facing some difficulty in life, جَزُوعًا, they began to complain and show impatience. So nature of the man is not a patient nature. Children are example. We have to learn patience, by the way. We have to exercise patience. And teachings of Islam is about learning patience. When you look at the Quran and the word sabr in Quran, when in Surah Asr, we recited this, right? And the beauty of Surah Asr is that look at the keyword of this surah. وَالْعَصْرِ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. The keyword is Asr. That's one. Khusran, Khusr. Third is Haqq, and fourth is Sabr. These are the four keywords that you see in every verse. So Asr is about time. I swear by the time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. And time is a very important component in Quran. That's why Allah don't use oath and qasam for everything, unless something that's very important. Like what tini was zaytun is the importance of certain creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالشَّمْسِ وَالضُّحَاهَا, I swear by the sun and the moon. But one thing that we see Allah use different type of oath is different part of time. So for example, Allah said, وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى, I swear by the night, or by the night. وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى, I swear by the day, daylight. وَالصُّبْحِ إِذَا تَنَفَّسَ, I swear by the morning. وَالْفَجْرِ, I swear by the early hours of the day, by dawn, by early morning, Fajr. And wal-asr, I swear by the afternoon. So you see the different hours and different time of the day are subject of oath of qasam of Allah. Why? Because time is very sensitive matter in teaching of Islam, but in overall, because it is the only thing that does not have a reverse button. Everything is forward. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's why the first is time, wal asr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Asr. And then second, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Inna al-insana lafi khusr. Indeed, human being is in constant loss. Because we're losing time. We cannot go back. And once we missed it, we missed it. Especially after death, the only thing that you have is regret. Because while you're alive, you still can make up, you can reform, you can recover. There's repentance, there's tawbah, there's a way to fix the damage. But once we leave this dunya, Quran said, the only thing we will be able to say is Ya laytani or Ya laytana, I wish. Ya laytani qaddamtu li hayati, I wish I would have sent something ahead of time. Ya laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalina, I wish I wouldn't choose that person as my friend. Ya laytani ittakhadhtu ma'a rasuli sabila, I wish I would have chose a path to follow the path of the Prophet. So time is something we're losing. That's Quran said that was what khusran is about, loss. But the exception is إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, except those who have faith and they're righteous in their act and deeds, then that loss has profit. You lost something, but you gained something. So it covers the loss. Except those who have iman, and except those who have amal salih. And then we come to the other key word. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. The key in the path of this iman and amal salih, this faith and righteous deeds, are two components of truth, that we submit to truth, that we promote the truth, we defend it. And then وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And then when it comes to patience and sabr, haq and sabr are linked here. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that those who are in loss, there's an exception, and the exception are those that enjoin one another to patience. Not only they are patient, but they promote patience. Not that they are submitted to truth, they promote the truth. So these key words in the Surah Asr lead us to an understanding that iman and faith, time and loss of time, will come to result once we have truth in mind. So what are we waiting for? Because sabr has to be for the truth, a truthful patience. So some people waited to support the Imam of their time. Those who abandoned Imam Ali alayhi salam, they waited. Those who abandoned Imam Hussein alayhi salam. That sabr is not sabr, by the way, is not an idle, an ecstatic form of waiting. Sabr is patience to see through something. That I do something and I wait for the outcome. It's not that I do nothing. That's not sabr. Sabr doesn't mean do nothing. Sabr means is to wait to see something through. The outcome of something, a seed that you planted, wait for it to grow. That's what sabr is about. That's why in Quran Allah said, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. That we will test you, we will put you on trial. with fear. Because when you're afraid, when you're paranoid, you lose your patience. You start running when you have to sit down. You put your life and lives of others at risk. You put your faith at risk. Because you're afraid of poverty, you don't give charity. You don't wait for the charity seed to give barakah and blessing to your life, because I'm afraid. Well, hunger. Hunger leads is a form of trial. وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ, financial loss. وَالْأَنفُسِ, health issues, illness. وَالثَّمَرَاتِ, family problems, loss of loved one. وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ, and the glad tiding, the good news is for those who have patience. If you have sabr, you will succeed to see through the trial. When you get hungry, you don't lose hope. When you are afraid, when you're sick, that sabr and patience help you, give you the strength, the courage to see it through. You don't lose hope. الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. The perspective of the patient is that when some kind of calamity befalls upon us, they say we are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we return to Him. So because in their mind, everything has its place, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not ignore my existence. We have a story that I said that sometimes we need to be patient with trust in Allah. Because we're looking for quick result, and sometimes quick result is not going to be accomplished. We have to wait. So when I pray, when I fast, when I do dua and said, Ya Allah, I prayed in the night of Qadr, why no answer? Why don't see something happen right away? And the answer is wait to see it through. One thing I've heard from many elders is when they were young, they had the same kind of complaint, but once they grew up, as time passed, they came to understanding that why. If they didn't have something, it was for the khair that they didn't have it. It became clear with the passage of time. Not that they did nothing. They did what they have to do, but they were not sure about the outcome, but they waited to see the outcome. So trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is not going to abandon anyone. You have that Musa alayhi salam, when the time of his death came, so the messengers of Allah knew about it, including Musa alayhi salam. You have that he was asked to prepare himself for the journey. So he said his final farewell and goodbyes to his family. And once he was saying goodbye to one of his children, he began to cry. And we have that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Musa alayhi salam, Ya Musa, what happened? Why are you crying? Are you sad or grieving? If you want to live longer, we can grant you that. He said, Ya Allah, no, I'm mushtaq, I'm eager to meet you. But my concern and my tears for my family, for my young children. What's going to happen to them after me? We have that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya Musa, go next to a river. The river was close by. Musa alayhi salam went to a river, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, by my permission, the water went away and the bottom of the river was visible. So Allah said to Musa alayhi salam, go to the bottom of the river. The water went away, the water split. He went to the bottom of the river, and Allah said, pick up that rock. And once he picked up the rock, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, look, under that rock, there is an insect, there is a worm. And look at it, is eating something. Ya Musa, we will not forget about this creature. How we are going to forget about our creation, your child. You may say, how about poor people around us that they're suffering from hunger? How about that? Don't forget that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides for people, but Unfortunately, some people, they oppress. You see, I said that with this pandemic, how much food is going in waste. It's literally is people, they're destroying foods because there are so many that there's no market for it. There are people overeating. I will inshallah tomorrow talk more about waste, because the waste itself in the teaching of Ahlul Bayt and Quran is one of those sins that make you close to shaitan, to be wasteful. That when that happened is a disproportionate distribution of wealth and blessing of God, then that happens. But there's enough for everyone if somebody don't take it away. The same way when we do something into the nature, animals starve, animals die. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. So we see that corruption rises on the earth, what human being caused with their hand, with the injustice, with inequality, with discrimination, with prejudice. So we live at a time that there are trillionaires, billionaires, and we have people that they are living with less than $1 a day. There is something is happening in this system. It's not that it's not enough for everyone right now. It goes back to distribution of wealth. It goes back to modern form of slavery, to sweatshops, child labor, political agendas. These are what's leading to that. But Allah is the one who's not going to forget any of that. He's not going to forget his creatures and creations. So inshallah, with this, we will conclude today's talk. The subject of today, on the continuation of underlying cause of Riyah, we talked about instant gratification to be an issue in our behavior, in our expectation. And in order to fight that, we need to implement and exercise patience. Remember, there's some method of doing that, from implementing delayed gratification in your rewarding system with your children, or even your student if you're a teacher. Secondly is to learn to get in touch with the nature through farming, gardening, getting our hands dirty with the earth, to plant a tree, to plant seed. That itself teaches patience. Remember, following certain rituals such as fasting is a form of exercising patience. And lastly, remember that in order to be patient, remember Surah Asr. We have to know about time. That sometimes we think because time is, we're losing time, we should not be patient. We have to rush, we have to haste. But sometimes, as Quran says, in order to avoid the loss of time, you need to have faith, you have to have righteous deeds, and you must have the truth on your side, and then you must have patience to see the truth, the outcome of the truth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to have that patience, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us to be a type of patience that is proactive, not an static form of patience that stop us from being active. As we mentioned, the tradition of Ahlul Bayt has exactly been discouraged. May Allah inshallah give us that tawfiq. There is a dua because of the rizq. I don't know if I mentioned this dua, but I would like to just make sure everybody knows it. There is a riwayah that Imam Ali as-Salam came to Rasulullah and said, Ya Rasulullah, I have some financial difficulties. And Rasulullah taught Imam Ali as-Salam a dua, a prayer that is recommended to be recited, inshallah, for if you have problems, and especially right now, this is inshallah a good dua to start and ask Allah. We need dua and action. These are together and provide us resolution. The dua is from the Prophet is this: Allahumma aghnini bihalalika an haramik. Ya Allah, fulfill me, enrich me with what is halal of yourself, to make me needless of the haram. So satisfy me with your halal so I don't go to haram. وَبِطَاعَتِكَ عَنْ مَعْصِيَتِكَ. Ya Allah, enrich me with your obedience so I will ignore and I will stay away from your disobedience. وَبِفَضْلِكَ عَمَّنْ سِوَاكَ. And Ya Allah, enrich me with your mercy and with your bounties from anyone beside yourself. Allahumma aghnini bihalalika an haramik wa bita'atika an ma'asiyatik wa bifadlika amman siwak. Inshallah, we can recite this dua after prayer during the day. May Allah, inshallah, grant us rizq and sustenance of this dunya and akhirah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, so I'm trying to see if we have any questions. Yes, we do. Okay. If it's okay with you, let me access my Slido. Okay. So I have the questions here. So the first question is, if we end up offering Eid prayers at home, are there two khutbahs still needed? As you know, in the time of the Imam, if the Imam is present, not in the time of occultation, is wajib, but right now in the time of occultation, according to Maraji, the Eid al-Fitr prayers is mustahab, so you cannot do it. You can do it furada. So in case of doing it furada, no, it's not necessary to offer khutbah, especially if you're doing it by yourself and singular. So that's the answer. If you end up offering Eid prayers at home, are the two khutbahs still needed? No, they're not needed, especially if you're doing it furada. I'm a 9-year-old and I would like to ask how to Allah treat you if you did something that was bad but did not know that it was bad. So to the question that this 9-year-old asked, if you didn't know something was bad and it was not your fault that you didn't know, because sometimes, let's say, they taught you about it, but you didn't listen, you didn't pay attention, that would be different. But if you didn't know about it, there's nothing on you. There is no punishment for something you didn't know it was bad. But now that you know it's bad, you should not do it. So that should be the short answer to our 9-year-old. Inshallah, just worry about things that we know that they are bad. If you didn't know, there's nothing on you. Allah will not held us accountable for something that we didn't know, unless we could have learned and we didn't. Okay. Thank you everyone for your questions. I did not see any more questions. The only two were these two. So if there's anything else, inshallah, we have tomorrow, inshallah, to ask.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate your becoming and giving us these type of lectures. And hopefully Allah bless you and us with these ibadah. And before everybody leaves, one quick announcement about Quran recitation program, please. Tonight is the last chance for submitting the log for Quran recitation. And in addition to that, if I heard some of the kids are trying to finish the Quran, the whole Quran in this month, so that's a special prize for them.